This video is going to be a follow-up to the very first video I did about my 2010 A4 being 5 things I like about the car. And this video was going to be titled 5 things I hate about the car, but I really couldn't come up with anything I absolutely hate about the car, and I really couldn't even come up with 5 things I dislike about the car. So I guess this is going to be 4 things I dislike about my 2010 Audi A4. The first thing I don't like about this car would definitely have to be the oil consumption. And I knew this kind of going into the car that B8 A4s had this problem, but I didn't think it was nowhere near as bad as it actually is. At the time of recording this video, I changed the oil in the car about a month or so ago. And I don't put that many miles on the car. I mean, I do daily drive it, but it doesn't get that many miles where it'd be time for an oil change where it should be consuming oil. And I've already had to put about 2 quarts of oil in this car since then. So the oil consumption it's pretty bad in this car. And I think that's a thing that they fix later on down the line with the B8.5 cars, but this one, it's definitely a problem in the early B8 A4s. Now, the number 2 thing that I say I don't like about this car is the Bluetooth in it. Now, it has Bluetooth for phone calls, and you can pair it and use that, and it works great, but it is beyond me that you cannot use Bluetooth in this car for music streaming. I don't know why that is, why you can't do that. I mean, there are cars that are the same year as this one that are a lot cheaper of a car than this is, for this to, at the time when it was new, to be a $40,000 car, but you can't stream music over Bluetooth in it. That just really doesn't make sense to me. The third thing I'd say, which is kind of nitpicking a little, but it's still something I don't really like about the car, is the cup holders in the front. Now, one of them is like a normal size cup holder that you could fit your average size drink in, and then the second one, it's just like so tiny. Like, you have to like literally force anything that you try to put in it, you have to force it into it. And then on top of that, it's like every time you go to force something into it, it almost feels like it's just gonna explode, whatever you put in there, like trying to force it down in there. And then it's just stupid. Like, I don't know why Audi didn't do this, like why they did it like this. I don't know why they didn't just put 2 normal size cup holders in this car. It just doesn't make sense to me at all whatsoever. And the 4th thing that I say I don't like about this car is the way that the transmission is programmed. Now, don't get me wrong, the transmission in this car, it's great, it shifts fast, but the only thing I just don't like about it is, like, when you're on like the highway and you're driving, you'll be driving and you get ready to pass someone, and it seems like the transmission is just always in the wrong gear at the wrong time. Like, and it doesn't even really, it's not even just down to just highway driving. Sometimes you'll just be driving around town, and like, I'll be driving and you can put the car in the manual mode and you can see what gear it's in, and I'll just be driving around and it'll be literally have just taken off from a stoplight and the car will be in like 4th gear in a matter of like 30-40 feet. And you get ready to step on it, it's like it almost has to make up its mind that, oh, well, we have to go now, so it has to downshift down to about 2nd or something to be able to go. And it's just kind of like they could have did this a lot better. And I know in some Audis that it's not like that, so it may just be a thing with A4s or B8 A4s for all I know, but it just doesn't seem like it was that well thought out. And I understand that it's probably like that for fuel economy reasons, because this car does get pretty decent fuel economy for what it is, but I just don't like how the transmission is, like, the way it's programmed. It just kind of sucks to me, at least when you're on highway driving. It's like it just takes it way too long to downshift, and sometimes when it does downshift, it doesn't even downshift into the right gear, so you just kind of have to like drop it into sport mode, and then that's when you can pass someone. It doesn't really seem like it should be that way in a car like this, especially a sports sedan like this is. It shouldn't be like that, I don't think, at least. And I kind of misspoke in the beginning. This isn't going to be 4 things I dislike about this. This is going to be 5 things I dislike about this car, because recently I was driving my brother's 2008 A6, and I noticed the little screen in between the gauge clusters is color on his car. Now, his car is a 2008, and I don't know why Audi did this, but the screen in the middle is monochrome in the A4s, and I don't understand why that is when you had color screens. That A6 has a color screen. I don't know why this car doesn't have one. And I mean, it's kind of a nitpicky thing. I mean, it's a screen. I mean, the screen in here, it does what it needs to do. just seems like kind of a lost foresight. Like, why didn't you do that, Audi? Why didn't you put the color screen in this car? It's a newer car. Maybe it's just the thing, the A6 being higher than this car, better than this car. I don't really know, but it just seems like a kind of misstep there. I don't know. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this video, be sure to leave those in the comment section down below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for more videos about this 2010 A4 and more Audis in general in the future. Have a good day.